That's so formal.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it too formal? Hello, welcome to my show. Hi, my name is Katie Lares. I am a fashion designer. I do mostly leather accessories. We're hanging out at my place in the Lower East Side of New York City. I'm from Northern California. I lived here for 8 years. This is my dress form. This is where I like to drape. I really liked this piece I did. I'm just really into simple shapes and minimalism. So this piece, it's really just a big square when you open it up with a slit down the front. And then when you relax it, it looks like this really voluminous kind of soft shape. I used to design for really big corporate mass market companies like Abercrombie & Fitch, Victoria's Secret, Anthropologie. After that experience, a couple years ago, I decided to start my own line and hand make everything myself. I'm one of the designers at Flying Solo. I've been at Flying Solo since the very beginning. Ever since I joined Flying Solo, my life has totally changed, and it's been an amazing experience. This is an idea for a design. It's a leather jacket that's kind of distressed, and then it has all of these different kind of sizes, different shapes of chain sort of drawn all over it. And then this was a swatch that I made, just kind of experimenting how that could be done, taking the chain and drawing these shapes and then how to attach the chain to the leather. And I think my favorite one is this one. It's like pieces of chain sort of wrapped around that other chain. I thought looked the most cool. So these ones, jewelry designs. I was working in the diamond district looking at gems for a little while, so I got really inspired by the gems and all the different colors and shapes. So yeah, these are all different jewelry designs kind of inspired by thorns and roses. Taking these thorns and branches but made out of metal, maybe having flowers and gems. This is a headband. And then maybe different rings, but with like thorns all the way around them. I really love this trim. I bought it at Mood in the garment district, and it's like all these safety pins and chains, and it's kind of like gritty and distressed. I started taking photographs of all these different textures in the Lower East Side. So this texture was from a wall, and then I digitally printed it on silk. So it's kind of like a play on stripes. I was inspired by that trim, so I put all these safety pins and then chains around the edge. And it's also just just a regular scarf as well. But it kind of has like a story behind it. This is a painting that I did. It's on wood. I really like to draw hands. Like I just like how intricate they are and all the different shapes. So I did clothing for a long time, which I still love, but for some reason I just always really liked accessories. I always just looked at bags in department stores, and I don't know, I was just so attracted to them. I think a lot of women have like this one thing that they really like, whether it's shoes or jackets or something, but I like bags. I thought about why that is, and I think it might be because I collected jewelry boxes when I was little. And when you think about it, a bag is pretty much a little ornate box that you can carry. I love that accessories fits everybody. You know, you can be tall or short or big or small, and you can always carry a bag with you. Another reason I like accessories is it's this separate object from you. You're holding it, but you're not always wearing it. So it can be a little more fun, a little more ornate, a little more sculptural, since it's something that you carry with you. I really love hardware. Adding hardware is like sort of like adding jewelry to my work. I collect all these different, I guess, trims and hardware that I got in the garment district, and that adds a lot of inspiration to my work. All these different sizes and shapes of safety pins. Another inspiration I have is just industrial architecture, because New York City is so industrial. So these are just some pieces I got from the hardware store and still need to figure out what I'm gonna do with them. They really inspire me. So this chain is actually for gears in machines, and it was plated in these really gorgeous jewelry, gold and silver. But originally it looks like this. is just super industrial. So these are a couple of magazines that printed some of my pieces and their editorials. That was a really amazing experience, just like going to a magazine store for the first time and then seeing your work printed. This downtown New York City girl who's like kind of edgy, kind of punky. Yeah, this is another one with choker, but in a different colorway. This is a glazed alligator. It's a really expensive material. You pay for it by the centimeter. Not always, but I like this sort of slick aesthetic. I think of myself as a really sensitive person, so I kind of tend to absorb the aesthetic around me and then kind of channel that into my work. So I live in the Lower East Side. It's close to the East Village. There were a lot of amazing like punk rock and roll musicians that lived over here. I feel that in the neighborhood. It definitely influences a lot of my work. So this is one of my sketchbooks. I took all these photographs of industrial details around New York City and then did some sketches on how I could translate that into some jewelry or bags. I really love like all of these kind of small details with the bolts and hardware. It's really cool, and that looks like a face. I thought this looked like a necklace, kind of. That was one of the reasons I bought those like little hardware, those copper hardware pieces. This is actually how they were made. It's like you can find the exact pieces. We're gonna walk to the studio soon, and you guys will be able to watch me make some things.